Hi guys, the ONS, or the Office for National Statistics, says the UK economy is now in recession as GDP shrinks by 0.2%. The current Chancellor of the Exchequer, Jeremey Hunt, was asked about this, and he said that it's very worrying, but that he will tackle it in his fiscal forecast, which will be released next Thursday. As we know, Liz Truss, his former boss, promised to avoid a recession, and his current one, Rishi Sunak, has been pushing for cuts to public services. Hunt was here speaking to Sky News about this. Have a listen.
So we've just had the latest data from the ONS, the economy shrinking by 0.2%. Is it an inevitability that we're now in recession?
Well, the Bank of England says that we are likely to be in recession. This is disappointing but not entirely unexpected news. And what we need to do now is to present a plan to the country to tackle the root cause of the issues we face, which is inflation, and a plan that protects the most vulnerable. And that's what I must do next Thursday.
Are you alarmed by the fact that the UK is actually, of the G7, the only economy which is shrinking at the moment?
Well, according to the International Monetary Fund, around a third of the world's economy is in recession this year or will be in recession next year. And that is principally, but not entirely, because of very high global energy prices. We are not immune to that in the UK, and what we need is a plan that shows how we're going to get through this difficult period. If it is a recession, how we make it shallower and quicker, so that we can protect businesses who are really struggling, as these figures show, but also give families some hope that we will get through to the other side with the most vulnerable people protected.
Now, it's interesting that, remember, at the beginning of the year, Boris Johnson was talking about how the UK was the fastest growing nation in the G7. Now, it's the slowest. The way out of a recession, of course, is to pump money into the economy. But I don't think Jeremy Hunt is going to do that. Instead, he'll go on an austerity drive. He's already talked about cutting public services. And his boss, Rishi Sunak, has talked about cutting public services. Now, I think it's going to be a two-tiered process. They're going to cut public services and they're going to raise taxes because the economy is in a disastrous state. But tax rises, if they are on the cards, well, Tory MPs may rebel. But how big that rebellion is yet to be seen. So I think next Thursday is going to be very interesting. We're going to see the reaction from Tory MPs. If there are tax rises which are likely to be on the cards, then I think many Tory MPs are going to be very upset about that. And it could potentially bring down Rishi Sunak's government. Once again, until we see the figures and until we see the number of very angry Tory MPs, once again, it could be something that would bring him down, and then you would have another government put in place by the Tories. An absolute disaster. Now, austerity will make a recession deeper and deeper and longer, because cutting public services, cutting investment, means you'll end up seeing job losses. That's lost money also for the Exchequer, businesses going under, people being laid off. This is the worst thing you should be doing. You should be pumping money into the economy, not taking money out. And finally, the elephant in the room, of course, Brexit. The UK should be talking about rejoining the single market as a priority. Joining the EEA, getting as close as possible to becoming a member of the European Union, because this would spur investment. This would encourage, it would be positive for the markets. But instead, they're not talking about it for political reasons. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.